Then we see our Roland, a look of deep thought on his face, is thinking that months of the demon? And then our MC sees that Anna is scared, her eyes wide with terror, and she's barely able to look at him. And we see that old man, his voice rasping with age and gravity, says, "Your Highness may not be clear about it. Every year after the first snow falls, the sun would become faint and dim, and the gates of hell within the mountain would open during that time." And we see a volcano erupting in the background, a spectacle of fire and destruction, and we see people, their faces a mask of despair and urgency, are leaving Border Town in a hurried, chaotic exodus. The old man continues, his voice a low grumble. Border Town does not have any guarding capability, thus all of its inhabitants will have to migrate to the Longsong stronghold. However, please rest assured your Highness's safety will definitely be the priority. Then, Roland, his brow furrowed in concern, asks the old man, "Have you seen it before? The gates of hell." Now the old man, a shiver running down his spine, says, "How could normal people be able to see it? Leaving alone the fact that the mountain is totally impossible to cross over, even coming close to the mountain, one would be affected by the evil miasma unless—" Then the old man looks at Anna, his gaze suddenly hesitant, and stops talking. Then Roland, his curiosity piqued, looks at him and asks, "Unless what?" Then he says, his voice a low whisper, "Unless that person is a witch, WHO has fallen from grace and become the claws of the devil. Only witches are not affected by the evil miasma and are able to see the gates of hell." Then Roland, his expression grim and serious, asks, "What about demonic beasts? You ought to have at least seen a demonic beast before, right?" Then the old man, his voice shaking slightly, tells Roland, I have never seen a demonic beast before. I admit. The same as your Highness, this is my first time coming to Border Town. Within the center castle of Graycastle, only a few people have encountered a real demonic beast." Then Roland, a frustrated sigh escaping his lips, thinks to himself, to have to migrate once every year, how can this place even develop? Originally, I thought that although Border Town was only a barren land, at least it still had potential for development, but from the looks of it now, this place is but a huge, hopeless pit. Since Longsong Stronghold is able to defend against the demonic beasts, are they not invincible? Then Roland, his voice firm and authoritative, raises his hand and tells the old man, "Then why can't we defeat them at Border Town?" Then the old man, his eyes wide with shock and disbelief, tells Roland, "Longsong Stronghold has a huge wall and Duke Rain's elite troops are stationed there. How can Border Town, this kind of small place, be compared to them?" Then he squints his eyes, a thoughtful expression on his face, and thinks, so this means that the reason Border Town was built between North Slope Mountain and Chihui River was so that Border Town acted as cannon fodder. Then we see Roland, his face set with determination, instructs the old man and tells him, "Bring your people and go find the local guards and hunters. They need to have lived here for more than 5 years. They are the best choice for fighting the demonic beasts." Then the scene shifts to the mansion garden, a scene of relative peace and tranquility, and we see Roland and Anna sitting and eating. Then Roland, his voice gentle and concerned, asks, "Anna, tell me about the months of the demon." And she says, her voice soft but steady, "All right, your Highness." Then, with a sad expression, her eyes filling with tears, "Unlike you nobles, to us, the months of the demon are a nightmare that we have to experience every year. A nightmare where one could die." Then we see some people mining at the mine site, their movements slow and weary. And Anna tells Roland, her voice filled with a mixture of sadness and resignation, "As your Highness knows, my father is a miner, and like the majority of the people in town, he lived a hard life. Every year when the months of the demon arrive, we would transport the year's harvest of Border Town to Longsong Stronghold to exchange for food the next year and some gold royals. Then we see a few people sitting by a fire, their faces haunted by the memories of past hardships, and Anna tells us, her voice a low whisper, "During the months of the demon we would stay at Longsong Stronghold temporary settlement until the winter was over. During a certain year, the months of the demon continued for 4 months. The government official of Longsong Stronghold told us that the ores newly produced that winter were only enough to purchase 3 months' worth of food. and they are only able to give out the food for the 4th month when the next batch of ores arrive. But because the months of the demon were not over yet, we are basically unable to leave the stronghold. Not only that, but the food and other necessities were all distributed, and the strong bullied the weak often. Some people were unable to endure through the months of demon, and we see a man, his body thin and frail, died of hunger. And then Roland, his voice filled with empathy and a deep sense of justice, tells Anna, "I reckon that it must have been very tough for a girl like you, right? Your father?" Then we see Anna lower her head, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs, and with a voice choked with emotion, she tells Roland, "Actually, during that time, my father was still very protective of me." And after a few seconds of silence, she spoke, her voice a mixture of sadness and resignation. "That was 25 gold royals. Father, he just wanted to continue living." Then we see Roland, his face flaring with rage and determination, smash his hand on the table, stand up, and tell Anna, his voice booming with confidence and a promise of CHANGE, that kind of months of the demon won't ever come again. Bro, like GIGACHAD. I guarantee it. Then he asks, his voice firm, "Where is Barvo Mons at?" Note, Barvo Mons is that old man. Call him over. I want to ask him how he has dealt with the matters I asked him to do. Then the butler says, bowing slightly, "All right, Your Highness." Then we see inside of the border town government affairs office. Then we see, besides the old man and the blonde-haired knight, there are 3 men standing. Roland asks the old man, his eyes scanning the group, "Are those the people that am I looking for?" Then the old man says, "Yes." Then we see 2 men standing. The old man is introducing both of them, Grey Dog, a guard from the Beacon Tower of North Slope Mine area, and another, BEIAN, also from the same place. And those 2 are the town's patrol squad captains. They are charged with lighting up the fire beacon every year. Beacons are used for signals. It is used for guide or warn people. Then we see a big, muscular man with a scar on his face. Then the old man introduces. This hunter said that he had fought against a demonic beast's head. Then we see one of the guards, scared and shivering, explaining to Roland, "Respected Prince, Your Highness, the snow has begun to fall at the Beacon Tower. We are able to see the movement of demonic beasts. They crossed through the concealing forest, so we lit up the beacon fire to notify the people in the town to leave." Seeing his panicking, Roland says, "Since you 2 came together, let your partner answer instead. How do the demonic beasts look like? Are they killable?" Then we see his partner and he says, "They are killable, Your Highness. They were originally ordinary animals from the forest. Although they were affected by the evil miasma and became ferocious, they can still be killed." Every year, after the months of the demon were over, Longsong Stronghold would send out cavalry troops to clean away the remnants of the demonic beasts that are at the stronghold and border town. Then we see the hunter stamp his feet on the ground, a grin spreading across his face, and says, "They are nothing formidable." Then he says, "Reporting to Your Highness, I have killed demonic beasts before." Then we see 2 of them. Look at him, and he is smiling, an aura radiating from him.
This is the end of part 3, guys, so here's the deal. If you guys want to know if I upload less, but longer videos, or keep the regular schedule, let me know in the comments. I'll make it happen based on what you all want. Also, I've been working on improving the voiceovers. I used to use the kept voices, but now I'm using more natural voices. It's still a work in progress, but I'm working on improving it. That single quotes is it, guys? If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment.